Welcome everyone. Don Wilson here, Marketing Director with Province Mortgage Associates. And this is the Province Mortgage Associates podcast, where we do a lot of filming of our amazing mortgage professionals. We love them so much and our clients. But we really wanted to bring in some of our network partners out there, get to know the people in our community, the people that these guys work with and build relationships with. We are so fortunate to have Jeff and Evelyn Weller of Home Smart Professionals. Welcome, guys. So glad you're here.
Thank you for having us.
And we are also joined today by Senior Mortgage Advisor Pat Baldwin, NMLS number?
Don't know, God only knows.
So look, right off the bat, here's the thing that you know about her. She's honest, which is cool. Some people know it. I happen to know mine. I'm 13489, but I have one of the short numbers to memorize. That's easy. So we're not gonna hold that against her.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
So why don't we begin with where you guys met? How did you guys get connected?
We met at a restaurant called 1149 when it was still there in East Greenwich. We were guests of Dean DeTanacourt, who had invited us because he was soliciting new agents. Recruiting, I should say, not soliciting.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we met Pat, always personable and forthcoming, and embraced us. And from that point on, we haven't stopped talking, Pat.
Correct.
So we're never at a loss for conversation. And whenever we have clients that need some extra help, we always think of Pat. We say, you got to call Pat because your situation demands that you call Pat.
We have it right here. I've only had the pleasure of knowing Pat for a short period of time. We met, basically just this year, to turn into just at the end of last
December,
year. And I've been in the industry for 27 years. And the one thing that you quickly start to learn about here is the body of knowledge that she has. She just doesn't know mortgage stuff. She brings things to the table for her clients that a lot of people who do what you do don't.
Well, thank you.
So I think you want to share that really quick since we got on that topic?
Sure. I've got a wealth of knowledge. I used to be a realtor for many years, was a real estate broker, was involved in building and new construction. So I know a lot more than typical people about things like, if there's a septic system problem, I know where to go. If you need a DEM certificate of conformance, I could go pick it up for you if you need it. If you have a problem with wells, water, zoning issues, subdivision of land issues, encroachment issues, because, with a background as a builder and also a land developer, you get to know quite a bit because I did that for decades.
Yeah.
And again, I was a realtor, so I kind of know what it's like and how hard it is for the realtors to be realtors. And
you also have an accounting and a finance.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yep.
So she doesn't really need to know her NMLS number. It's on her. I'd rather she knows this stuff instead. Mm-hmm. So Jeff, did you guys become realtors at the same time? Did you decide to do it as a team?
I started real estate in 1999.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much on my own. Evelyn was preoccupied with family and a full-time job.
Yeah.
So we had done several businesses together over the years. We've always done business together since we first met just out of high school, early college years.
Awesome.
And we've been married that long.
Yes.
So ongoing. We just kept starting one business that didn't work out, started another business that worked out okay, didn't work for the family. We started another business. And at some point we just said, hey, we had to go kind of our separate ways for a while.
We've been entrepreneurs really all our lives. And we come from, both our families were manufacturing families. They started their own businesses here in Rhode Island. And very successful, and it's just in our DNA.
Yeah,
very much part of the jewelry district that we're in now. Mm-hmm. When it was all jewelry,
right?
We were in jewelry families. So that now time has passed. I decided to become a realtor,
and his needs sort of fell to me. Well, you need help with that? I can start doing that. So I became an assistant. I became a licensed assistant.
Yeah.
But I don't like not being able to tell the whole story. And I couldn't tell the whole story on the phone when I was talking to clients. So I said, I got to get my license.
As Evelyn used to put it, I have to sit on my tongue.
Oh, I have to sit on my tongue.
It's a very interesting picture. And I couldn't have her do that forever. She wasn't a happy camper. So
what I think is
joined the team.
Gotcha. So what I think is awesome is So what's your secrets? Because some husbands and wives cannot work together. They can't make that happen.
We understand that.
How do you do that?
We used to sing as well, entertained in the early years.
We met on stage in a show, West Side Story, as Tony and Maria, right? And we've been singing together in life and harmonizing in life since then. And what's our secret, love?
Our secret is, one, you have to laugh. Evelyn always laughs at my jokes, even though they're not funny. And I think Pat laughs at some of them too. But the point is, you have to have sense of humor to get through the harder times. I think we had maybe 4 or 5 arguments being married.
Wow.
That I can remember.
We try to argue, and then eventually we start laughing because we're trying so hard,
it's just
to
not
keep
all
our point up. So it's just, when things happen to you in life, you just realize there are certain things that are really important and other things you have to let slide. So you really have to choose your battles wisely. And some of them just aren't worth fighting. So
I think you're a tremendous breath of fresh air. Like you're putting on a master class and how to be a
Did
couple
someone
that
open
lasts.
the door?
So let's talk real estate a little bit. I'd love you guys to share a little bit about what you feel your niche is. After these years of being through different types of markets, we all know this one's not the easiest that's going on right now. But what do you feel is unique that the two of you bring to the table? I think I'm already kind of getting that, but how would you articulate that?
I would say, since Evelyn joined me as a realtor, and we got knee deep into the whole process over the good years and not so good years as we endured, I think we picked up so much knowledge and information. Evelyn and I, we endeavored in different areas of real estate, and we pretty much have done it all. So we can bring a lot to the table for young people or for people retiring out of their home. We have a lot of information we can provide. We stay on top of our education, of course. You always have to remain current and topical. Yeah. And we've managed to do that as well. But primarily, I think it's our ability to tag team. Right. I'm out running around with clients. Evelyn is investigating, researching, and doing the paperwork required.
Right. And I love to sleuth. So for my buyers, I'll go the extra measure to make sure things are what they say they are. Yeah. And, I think the other thing we do well, besides working together as a team, when we have a client, they've got both of us working for them. Yeah. And when we run into obstacles, we don't think of them as problems. There's just something, we're going to figure it out. We'll find a way around it, over it, under it. We'll get through it. Yeah. And we don't give up. And that, I think, is what makes us special. We don't give up. We're professional, but we have a side to ourselves that is compassionate and kind. And I think above all, you can trust us. Awesome. We are. You see what we are. You get what you see. There's no pretension. Yeah. We just be ourselves.
You agree with all this, Pat?
Oh my God, yes. I mean, I actually made some notes to myself of things. What could I say about Evelyn and Jeff? And truly, they are very knowledgeable and very hardworking. And I know that they have taken couples under their wings where the couple might, there's one that the wife, to be was still single. She bought a house. So then they sold that house and helped her with now her fiance buy a 2-family in Wakefield. Then that 2-family, he was a veteran. He had great he still was in the Navy at the time, but he had access to the VA loans. They wanted to expand their real estate empire, and they helped them find 2 houses on 1 lot in North Kingston. So now they had 4 units in North Kingston plus the 2 units in Wakefield. And then they were expecting a baby, and they then bought a single family, beautiful one for themselves. And they are really tenacious, because I remember the 2 houses on on 1 lot, I should say, so a total of 4 units. That turned into what's called a 203K loan, a full blown one. Yeah. Not a small one, a big one. And, tens and tens, I'm sure it was over $100,000, maybe $150,000, $160,000, $70,000 worth of work. And those kind of projects are not for the faint of heart. You know, Jeff was there all the time meeting with subcontractors and helping the couple and giving advice as if that couple was your own son and daughter.
Right, and this was their first venture into being investors of any
Sure.
kind. So
Yes.
Awesome.
And they needed a lot of help, and you gave them so much excellent guidance, and they just think the world of you, because if not for you, they wouldn't have found those opportunities.
I have to give the kudos to Jeff because he's so good at the investment end of things, and can really help people.
That's great.
In that,
I like to explore when we go to home open houses and whatnot, or we're with a client. And I just want to say one thing about that: our first client and our last client, they're always the number one client.
Sure.
So whether we have working with 2, 3, 1, or 10, everyone is the most important client. So we have to investigate everything thoroughly as best we can and what is available to discover. And we try to exhaust that until it becomes not necessary.
Yeah.
You can go too far. So sometimes we just have to say, well, this is the ball of wax you're buying. What do you think? You know, at some point, there's only so much you can say.
I understand.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'd love you to talk a little bit before our final question about Kiki's Garden.
Yes.
Because I just heard about this today, and I think it's fantastic.
I'd like Evelyn to explain it, and then I'll jump in.
Okay. Our daughter Krista was diagnosed with cancer at 29, just before her 30th birthday, and then she valiantly lived as best as she could, as hard as she could, for the next 6 years, and passed away just before her 36th birthday. That was 14 years ago. And since then, we wanted to do something to honor her memory in a way that acknowledged the beautiful life she lived. She wanted to be remembered for her life that she lived, not for how she passed.
Yeah.
So we established Kiki's Garden, and helping kids play, learn, create, grow, and bloom is how we started out, but it ended up broadening out into a bigger involvement in the community at large. So now, besides our scholarships, which we give out every spring to high school seniors in the arts, going into the arts, we've given out around $90,000 in scholarships over the last 14 years. And we now have the Garden for Good, which provides fresh vegetables to area food banks. Last year, we raised about 2,800 pounds of produce, and this year we hope to double that. And our realtor community is involved with us to get the gardens going. And then Jeff and I, monitor the gardens, bring in other volunteers, and through the season, we have an intense gardening experience.
Yeah, you do.
So,
Yeah, you do. And you're paying it forward.
Yes,
And,
we are.
and I know what it's like to have a child with a life-threatening illness. I know what it feels
and
like.
I do apologize for that. It hasn't happened in a long time.
You have nothing to apologize. Ask Smith what it's been like to deal with me the last few months.
I'm sure.
Because you go through ups and downs, and it's all part of it. So, all right, we got one final question here before we wrap it up. What, each of you, really quick, what is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, God.
Well, it's very befitting. I've always been singing it since I saw Richard Kiley perform in Man of La Mancha in 1968 on Broadway.
All right.
And it was called The Impossible Dream.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been sung by many, many popular singers over the years. So I used to do it at every reunion.
All right.
Just for the fun of it. But it's very appropriate for our real estate market today.
Yeah, isn't it? Right?
Especially for home buyers.
Yeah.
If you're a home seller, you're living the dream.
Right.
If you're a home buyer, then we're trying to make the impossible dream happen.
Awesome.
And every day, it's an exciting moment when that does happen with Pat's assistance, with Evelyn's cooperation, and our drive to get it done and get them in the door. So
Awesome.
That's our goal.
You got one, Evelyn?
I would say celebration.
Oh,
Because life can be so hard. Life is messy. It's not perfect. We're all perfectly imperfect. And whenever there's a chance to celebrate, we need to celebrate. So
Agreed.
the song Celebration is probably my go-to karaoke song.
That's also one of our favorite dance songs.
That's
When that comes on,
Wedding
it's like
standard.
party.
You have one?
Yeah.
I do not. I
Yes,
have never done karaoke and never intend to, in all honesty.
That's okay.
But I will support them.
Oh, yeah,
and I mean, it's funny because I will sing and things like that, but I am not a karaoke.
Background dancers always available, even when you don't know your MLS number.
I like to be in the chorus, like support, like have the other person out front, and I'll sing background or harmony. That's about it.
I love do the in celebration.
I could.
Well, I truly appreciate you guys being here today. It was wonderful to have met you today, Evelyn and Jeff. How do people get in touch with you if they want to? Best way.
They can go to our website, wellerteam.com. They can also just email us at success@wellerteam.com, because our success is always dependent on the success of our clients. And we learn so much through the success of our clients, and we appreciate them. And
awesome.
And they appreciate you.
Sure.
You guys do a fantastic job.
And also keepthesgarden.com. So from all of us at Province Mortgage Associates, thank you so much for you guys for being here today. If you want to watch more of the Province Mortgage Associates podcast, you can just go to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.